New Thought Media Network proudly presents the Global Heart of Peace's Peace Party. Celebrate the many paths to peace. Explore an exciting life of peace. Embody joyous peace. Come to our weekly Peace Party, Mondays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network. www.ntmedia.org.
Greetings. Welcome to Peace Party, brought to you by the Global Heart of Peace Initiative. I am Dr. Trish Hall, and it is my privilege to be here with you today as we talk about peace and how I find peace in ways that will be easy for you to do likewise. And so we are here to celebrate the many aspects of peace and explore how exciting a life full of peace and joy can be. And sometimes people have this thing about not joining the word exciting. Personally, I'm excited about the fact that the opportunity to be able to be peace no matter what is going on in the world. That I can shift my consciousness to that. I can come from that space that says, I am the presence of peace. Because of what I am as an expression of the divine, and that it is God, Spirit, is not limited geographically or physically in any way. So that energy within me, I believe is divine energy, guiding and leading me in many different directions. And so today I'm going to be sharing with you about a way in which I experience peace, a way in which I invite you to do likewise, a way that started many years ago when I adopted a practice of noticing. And that's my description of it. Sometimes I refer to it as God spotting because it's noticing what's going right. It's noticing what is available. And sometimes in our busyness, we pass right by it, fail to notice. So anyway, this practice of noticing that I embraced several years ago, excuse me, I embraced it as a spiritual practice, a dedicated spiritual practice. And so my intention then was and is now to stay alert to notice the little things as well as the grand displays. And I live in the Washington, D.C. metro area. And last week, when we were driving into the district, we encountered unexpectedly heavy traffic. We were sort of oblivious, maybe not in the noticing mode, and then realized when we encountered this heavy congestion, and then we realized what had caused the traffic jam was the cherry blossoms. The cherry blossoms were being astounding. There were great swaths of white and slightly pinkish white blossoms in all directions. And I realized that during the time that we've lived in this part of the world, the trees have grown up. They're not little cherry blossom trees. They are spacious, grand cherry blossom trees. And I have never seen them more radiant. Apparently, just the right weather cycle had happened, and there were blossoms and blossoming trees in all directions as far as you could possibly see. And they were putting on this captivating show and totally entranced all the gawkers that were drinking it in. They were walking, they were in buses, they were driving. In fact, part of the traffic jam was the problem that they were driving and gawking. And so it was a little on the risky side, but no one could possibly not be captivated by these beautiful, beautiful blossoms. And so there is a concept in our science of mind teaching that says what you focus upon expands. in your awareness and your experience, that we not only become keenly aware of whatever it is we're focusing on, it also uh, positions us and opens us to have a greater experience of whatever it is. So, coming from my spiritual practice, I rephrase that to note, I rephrase that old cliche, I rephrase it to what I notice expands me. I am actually expanded by being open to noticing, being open to being keenly alert to the beauty of the spring. The spring is springing all around us. And currently, social media and public media have are placing so much attention on what is not life affirming, that it creates a magnetic attraction, drawing attention to itself. It is said that energy flows where attention goes, and the media is almost demanding that we pay attention to all the awfulizing, to all that isn't going right. And so I have a couple of questions for you. How much energy are you allowing to be captured by the media? And my second question is, or invitation is, ask yourself, is that how you want to expend your energy? Is that how you want to expend the precious moments that we each have that are available in our lives? Each moment is precious and we get to choose. We get to choose. And so, calling upon my noticing practice, I have been celebrating the fact that nature flows through its seasons with no regard for media attention. It doesn't say, hey, wait, and I'll blossom when I've got good camera angles. It says, cherry blossoms. Here we are. Cherry blossoms didn't care whether the media, if they had media coverage, which of course they have, but the blossoms didn't care about whether or not there was media coverage. Their exuberance was absolutely enthralling. And in our neighborhood, as the blossoms have begun to cycle and fall, we have vast expanses of white carpet that looks like snow. And what it is the blossoms as they are drifting down and covering the land, the gardens, the lawns. The leaves on my little volunteer cherry are popping out. They are unfurling toward the sun. Our lawn is switching over from winter to being verdant green. The leaves on several of our bushes in the backyard that had turned yellow in the heavy winter frost that we had this year now appear as adornments on the fresh green new growth. All of this I get to notice. Oh, and by the way, the birds. We have woodpeckers and wrens and cardinals and doves and finches and titmice and all an entire array of birds. Some are resident; they winter over with us, and already some of the migratories are arriving. And some are arriving to stay here in our region for the summer, and others are merely stopping for nourishment on their way north. So spring is springing, and I am so grateful to be noticing how life has awakened. Even the yellow jackets, I got stung the other day anyway, and flies buzzing, and all the little expressions of the divine are all making themselves known. They're making their presence known. My energy is flowing in celebration of nature. I find peace in a world that is all too often exhibiting turmoil. I consciously choose where I place my attention. And I place my attention on the glory of nature, on how it shows up in my backyard, on my street, in my city, all around. I embrace nature and celebrate the birthing and expansion of this season. I invite you to join me in awe at how radiantly nature gifts us with this beauty. And I invite you to take to make appointments with yourself. Make appointments actually on your calendar, on your phone, on whatever device you use for your calendar, to stop for a moment. Drink in whatever it is. Sometimes we have to kind of look hard for it. Sometimes it's so easy. But take a moment and find that peace that is the gift of spirit. It's the gift of spirit, and it is always there. It's up to us to do the noticing, to pay attention. And so I invite you into a couple of moments of stillness, of centering, and to join me. If you have a window that you can look out and see nature, wonderful. If not, or if it's not at a time of day or night when you're listening to this, where you can see something that reminds you, I invite you to simply go inside. Bring to mind some beautiful scenery, some grand place that you may have visited. And if one doesn't come up, I invite you to bring back a memory earlier today that may not have felt peaceful in that moment. And I invite you to find peace, whether you are in the memory of nature, whether you are in a business situation, wherever you are, notice the experience of peace. That experience of peace may be the stillness of just a little snippet of time. Or you may have the luxury of having spent time, a prolonged time. Bring it to mind. Shift your awareness. Shift your awareness to peace. Whether the excitement of peace, whether feeling awe at what you are seeing or feeling, whether it is the gentle embrace of peace. Breathe into it. Exhale fully. Breathe into it again. And exhale completely. And know that you are peace. And know that as we notice, As we become keenly alert to it, our noticing is changing us. As we change, our environment cannot not change with us. And so know that you are an individuation of spirit as peace, transmuting everything to peace. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your interest in and dedication to peace. Thank you for your consciousness. Thank you for joining us today as we explore unique aspects of peace, perhaps introduce you to a new practice, a new way to look at, a new way to be peace, new way to be aware of it by celebrating nature in all its glory as it is springing into spring. And so please join us again next week. Reverend Christy Semple will be our presenter next week, April 13th, and at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. May you dance in the joy of a peace-filled life. May you be alive and keenly alert and aware that you are an activity of spirit as peace. You are amazing. Namaste.